Careful rain, 60.
That feels good. All right, airfares are rising again, and travelers should brace for more price increases. This week, pretty much every carrier raised their prices by adding $20 per round trip to most domestic flights.
And I can tell you, people are flying, and the airlines are expected to raise these prices another $10 this weekend. Let's bring in Jennifer Dantes. She's the president of VIP Vacations, here to talk about that. And you're right, you asked us off camera, when's the last time you were on a flight and you saw empty seats? I mean, obviously we know there aren't as many flights, but there are a lot of people who, you have to see family. If you have older relatives or, like in my case, grandparents who are out of town, you have to go.
People are flying. We're busier than ever at VIP. I think what people have to understand, though, is for years the airlines didn't raise prices. Remember when they were losing money? Well, we were now getting hit on the other side, right, with all of the fees, the seats, paying for seats, paying for bags. So on average, you were already paying more. And the airlines took advantage of this by keeping the fares a little bit lower, but you were paying $50 to $60 more a ticket anyway. Right now, this is the fourth time this year that there is going to be a hike in prices, and they're claiming it's due to oil. But we know
oil's always the excuse, though.
So frustrating.
It was before, so that's why we had fees. The airlines then had $10 billion in profit last year. The fees stick around.
Right, and you have less choice to look around and look at other airlines. So what are you going to do when all the budget carriers are either not flying or they've merged? You have to actually realize it's supply and demand. So they've taken away a lot of flights, and there's carriers that have merged, so there's less supply. However, people are being smart, and they're buying their tickets early. So there's fewer seats, so they can raise the prices because they figure, hey, you got to get there.
It's so frustrating.
Right.
It is so frustrating.
So what I would actually say is wait a little bit. If you think you have to go away, I've never told you this before, right? For 4 years I've been here and saying, buy your tickets, buy them now. When you see a good price, don't wait. But I'm going to say this. Wait a little bit.
What's a little bit?
Well, if you were going to travel this summer, I would say wait till Easter.
Really?
Yeah, wait till Easter and see how things go. See if there's that fire sale that we talk about where they say, you know what, we're going to do something for 24 hours and then take advantage of it. And please don't buy your airline tickets on the weekend because it's the most expensive time. And unfortunately for Americans, especially here in Philadelphia area, we want to fly from Philly, right? We have clients in Des Moines that will drive to Chicago. In Philadelphia, we do not think about driving to Newark. But Newark has these 3 airports, Newark, JFK, LaGuardia, and those prices statistically are always less. So if it's going to save you $100 to $200 to fly JetBlue out of Newark, drive the 60 miles and do that. Expand your search to Atlantic City, to Baltimore, to Harrisburg, to Allentown, and to Newark, and you might be able to save some money. And maybe those air carriers that are in Philadelphia, the ones that, sound like U.S. something, will start to lower their prices a little bit and realize that people are driving a little bit further.
This might be a tough question to answer, but do the airlines want to weed out some travelers? Because if they're somewhat smaller, they're more efficient, they prove they can turn billions of dollars of profits here. Do they not care if the masses don't want to travel?
No, they want to fill their planes.
They are filling with less flights out there, but they're making money.
But as soon as people stop buying those tickets, they're hitting $600 to get to Cancun. We've never seen that before, ever. Cancun was the cheap place to go. We spent $350. I haven't seen that in 2 years. So what's going to happen is the airlines are either going to stop that route or they're going to have to lower their prices. There will still be those fire sales. Sign up for, the little email blasts from the airlines and take advantage of that when it comes around.
Really quickly, I hear there are changes with frequent flyer miles for some of the airlines.
Right. Delta was trying to be nice and say, guess what, your points aren't going to expire, but try to use them when it's not a full moon on a Thursday on the 5th week.
And there's 2 seats available.
Right. Right now, they've made a lot of changes to frequent flyer miles. Delta used to have you fly at least once in 24 months, and you could keep your points. Ooh, that was nice to them. Now they're saying they're not going to expire. And Southwest is changing from their Rapid Rewards point system more to like a mileage accrual system. JetBlue and US Air, they still have that 18-month point where you have to fly for 18 months. But US Air did something recently. They said you could buy your way to Silver Elite. Ooh, you don't have to earn it. You could pay $12.99. That's not $12 $1,299. That's $1,299.
Wow.
And you could become Silver Elite. However, for people who are at like 24,000 miles,
Right.
and they're right at that crunch where they could go to
Take a trip.
25,000 miles and get free bags and maybe
Yeah.
bumped to first class, you can buy 1,900 miles for $249. And for a lot of business travelers, that's worth it, because if you flew all last year, in January it starts all over again with your status. So you got used to getting bumped up to first class.
Right.
So that is something new that airlines have never done before.
I never have enough, so I lose them, and then I get free magazines at the end of the year.
There
It's
you
a
go.
consolation.
Northwest had a deal. They sent it to my mother, who's a senior and has a lot of miles, and they said you could sell them to a family member, but when I looked at the price was more than what I was going to
For a
pay
ticket.
for the flight. It was
Right.
$250 transfer fee,
Right.
and you get a flight.
And you still always pay for your taxes, or there's a fee for using the
Right.
miles. It's never been
Right.
an
No.
easy thing to do.
Thank you, Jennifer
Okay,
Sanchez.
thank you.